Welcome everybody to Go For Side Effects. I'm your host Kevin Simon. Y'all know my co-host John. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good, everybody. Thanks.
I like that shirt, kind of. It'd been better if it would have been navy, but hey, I won't hold it against you. And y'all, want y'all to meet Army veteran Tina Cox. She's Desert Storm veteran. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
Doing good. Now, I know y'all are all saying she was in Desert Storm. Is she our age? Yes, she is. And I'm not going to say her age, even though I know it. But why don't you go ahead? This will probably give it away a little bit. But tell them the years you were in. They all know you were in the Army. But tell them a little bit about what you did during Desert Storm.
I was an ammunition specialist of 55 Bravo, affectionately known as a BB stacker. We were the ASP forward that issued all of the ammunition, all the way from, the 5.56, 223, all the way up to the MLRSs. So we had 20,000 short tons of ammo, I think, out there. And I drove around on a 6,000-pound rough terrain forklift and moved ammo around, and we issued ammo, and we worked in 12-hour shifts and kept it going, a 24-hour operation. So we had some really interesting black powder that was from Vietnam out there.
Really?
Yeah, we had that, and we had Willie P out there, believe it or not. So it was a lot of ammunition. A lot of it, I think, was old, and they were wanting to just get rid of it.
Where did they keep that stuff stored?
We have bunkers that we keep all the ammo in.
Oh my gosh! All the way from Vietnam, and they held up that long.
Yep, they had it that long, but out there it was just all out on pallets, sitting out, obviously out on the sand and the ground. And when we would move the ammo, or especially when we were loading trucks, when it was time to leave, when the 88 mics would come back, and we'd lift them up, and there's those sand vipers would be under there, all aggravated and stuff. So we learned pretty quickly to stand up on the trailers and try to get the forklift drivers from there.
Oh, sand vipers. Your favorite thing, Kevin? Snakes. Where'd he go? Oh, he's having some
technical.
Can you hear us, Kevin?
By the way, I used to work for the Corps of Engineers, so SAON.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm rolling my damn eyes. Hold on. Okay, so ammo specialist. What the hell is an ammo specialist?
It's basically like a warehouse person, but it's just you're dealing with ammunition.
Oh, it's like a bosun mate. They just give it a different name. Yeah.
So you issue the ammo, you receive the ammo, you destroy the ammo if it's, needs to be.
That is really cool. Okay, so where all were you stationed around? Are you able to talk about that?
Well, when I joined from Oklahoma and went to basic in South Carolina, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I actually joined as a reservist to begin with, and I went back home after my AIT. I went to AIT at Fort Lee, Virginia, and I was a 76 Victor at that point, which was a materials and warehouse specialist. Went back home, and you probably experienced this yourselves. Once you go through all this training, you get back around all your old people, and it's just like you don't fit anymore. You don't gel. So I decided to go active duty, and I had to reclass. So I did 55 Bravo because it was the shortest AIT. The dumbest reason in the world to choose an MOS, but it was only 5 weeks, and I was done with training status at that point. So I did that, and then I was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, and I was there. And from there, I got orders to Germany, and I was really excited to go to Germany. But on the bus, on the way there, I found out that I was assigned to a unit that was already in Iraq. They had already been deployed. And so I had to play catch up to get to them. So I was by myself. There's a bunch of scragglers that they put on the plane. We were in Tent City for a while, and then they sent us out. And I got there and was kind of taking this armor unit, tankers, took me under their wing, and when we were at the towers, and kind of looked out for me. Speaking of ammunition, I had a mask that was too large for my face because they'd already scavenged and taken everything when they went over, when the 663 went over. So I had a mask that didn't fit my face. It gapped about that far under my chin. I had a weapon with not even a magazine, no ammunition, not even a magazine. So two of the soldiers upped one of their magazines, so I had 2 magazines with rounds. And then they took me as far forward as they could, but being a female and being tankers, they're going deeper in than back then. Women were allowed to go. So they finally found my unit, and it was at Log Base Echo, where the last seat saw them. But when we got there was no one there. There was nothing but folded up camo nets everywhere. And they assured me that the unit would come back and get those camo nets. So they dropped me off, and I was alone in the desert with my little liter of water, an MRE.
Seriously? By yourself?
By myself, sitting on a camo net, waiting for the 663 unit to come back and get their camo nets. So I'm sitting there waiting, and it got dusk, and I started getting scared. And then I saw the trucks come up, and with the stencil on the bumper, and I jumped up, started running for them, waving at them and stuff. And of course, they're like, "Who is this?" And they're sketched out by me. They made me ride in the back of the deuce and a half.
Wow. So first off, they put you on an airplane. The mask didn't fit, and what's it like? Welcome to Iraqi Airlines. You're going to go there. You will have no mask that fits, no magazine for your gun, a little bit of water, and we're going to send your ass out to a place, and you're going to sing all by myself. I mean, that's really what they did.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
well, and I
don't laugh
left
at
out
my
a part of the
singing.
story. It's when we did land, they put us on this bus to bus us to the towers. And I don't know if our bus driver was lost. I don't know. It seemed like it took forever because we landed in King Cod, and we had a scud launch while we were driving in the bus. They stopped the bus, and of course, everybody had to don the mop gear. Well, I don't know about you guys, but at my unit, we had never once, ever put on those crazy boots with the shoestrings and all that in them. We wore our Mickey Mouse boots, right? I literally look like a cat shredding that bag, trying to figure out how to get it on my feet.
Because they were just stupid.
Right.
What the hell is the army? See, that's why I didn't join the army right there.
Oh, bullshit. Oh, sorry. No, you said because you didn't want to have to worry about pulling trigger.
No. I didn't say pull a trigger. I said I didn't want to get shot at. That's 2 different things. Pulling a trigger and getting shot at are 2 different things. Let's get that straight right now. My little ass did not want to get shot at.
Incoming, what do? You shoot back.
I'm running.
I'm running. Okay.
I'm telling you right now, her ass was, listen, she was left all by herself out in the desert waiting for people. Did you have any ammo?
They didn't know I was there. They didn't know I was there.
Right. Did you have any ammo?
Yes, I had those 2 soldiers. Both of them had ponied up a magazine and give it. So I had 2 magazines.
A whole magazine.
Oh, yeah.
2 magazines.
Yeah, I felt safe then. Yeah. Yeah. And hiding behind a cargo net.
I was sitting on it. I was sitting on it. Now I probably would have started hiding behind it if it got any darker, because I was getting sketched. Of course, it was get dark. But they took me back, and then the commander's like quizzing me, doesn't know I'm supposed to be there. As a matter of fact, they never did get it straight that I was there. The hazard pay and all that. I never got any of that while I was over there. They
really
paid it all to me in a lump sum when I got back, because they never had it straight in the system that I was out there. So
what the hell is wrong?
It's hard to believe Uncle Sam didn't have that part right.
Oh yeah, real hard to believe on that. I
Yeah.
Well, I made some of the best friends of my life, though, there, but it was scary because I came from a unit. I was in 50th Warden in Colorado, and I would much rather deployed with the people that I knew than being sent over into an environment in a situation like this and not knowing anyone. I knew no one. So it was scary because I went over to Germany thinking, hey, I'm going to Germany. My husband's going to, I'm going to get housing. My husband will be over soon after me. And that's just, I don't know, I didn't see him again for another
So
year.
so you were married back even when you back then.
and
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
are y'all still married?
Yes. Crazy story. I met him when I was at Fort Carson. We knew each other 4 weeks and we got married. And
Well,
we are
Wow.
married today. April will be our 33rd anniversary.
well, that is freaking awesome.
Thank
Hey,
you.
see, it doesn't matter when you know you know. He
Mhm.
knows that you are the boss, and
Exactly.
now, right now, was he in the military? Was he?
Nope. Nope, I had like a code. I didn't want to date military guys because my idea was if I'm in this unit, I can't go anywhere. If things go south, I got to deal with this hassle every day for however long. Like, I don't want to do it. So,
I should have had that code too while I was in not date anybody in the not marry anybody in the military. But I mean, but that's
So-
fantastic. 4
no,
weeks, John.
congratulations on that. Because well, there's not many of us that have survived this length of time to the same spouse. I was very fortunate. Um, Lord knows my wife's put up with a lot of BS over the years. Um, you
Still
know,
does.
uh, yeah, no, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So Tina, where? So you got in Germany, or you didn't make it to Germany?
I got to Germany, but my unit was the 663rd was their barracks were in Schweinfurt, but I was
Okay.
sent over to Schwäbisch Hall, where the 101st Ordnance Battalion, their headquarters was, and then they processed. They let some people stay back. They had like a skeleton crew there, and I think they were just very protective. They didn't want to have to go, so anybody new that came in, they got us shipped on out of there as quickly as they
Oh,
could. So,
Yeah, that's
now
really
uh,
did you?
nice of them. Very
yeah.
nice of them.
Yeah. So how long were you in country before you went to Southwest?
Oh, about
How long were you in Germany?
about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
So
Not long.
you didn't even get to see your husband before you went to Iraq.
No, I'm not before I got on the plane to go to Germany. I saw him about 2 weeks before I got on the plane because he had gone to New Orleans to see a friend before I left. So
I bet you he regretted that time, didn't he?
yeah, he did.
Yeah, I bet he got his ass chewed at that time, didn't he?
Not
Yeah,
really.
kinda, a little
Not
bit.
really.
I bet you can remember that phone conversation.
I
Uh
you know,
huh.
I don't really remember being mad at him for not coming. I was more sad, I think, at
Yeah.
that. I
I
was
Yeah.
still trying to figure out what the hell was going on. My whole world just went.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. Now you said something that was earlier that was 100% correct. When you went home, you felt like everybody has changed,
Hmm.
but it wasn't everybody. The only person that changed was you.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
see, when I got out of boot camp, everybody was still the same. I was still the same, really, except for I got yelled at a lot, in boot camp. But when I came back from Desert Storm, and yeah, they yelled at me a lot. They told me my mama didn't love me. Oh, bastards. And
Wow.
I'm telling you,
That's
I was,
who
uh,
who came out and said that?
man,
Don't tell me an ins.
I never told you the story about when we landed for basic. I landed in San Diego, beautiful, gorgeous area. And all these hot women all over the airport. And I'm standing there, and these two guys come up, Petty Officer Lots and Chief Mintz, I think was his name. They're like, "Welcome to the Navy. Nice of y'all to join. It's really good to see y'all. Here, get a soda. Oh, take this. Anybody want a cigarette? Have a cigarette. Anybody dip, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, man, this is fantastic. Yeah, we got on an airplane. They're joking with us, having a good time. We went through them gates, and them guys had a split damn personality. Man, I was like, what in the foodbar shit did I get myself into? And I mean, I did. They made us call home. Oh man, I called home. I
Call
started.
that a shark attack.
No, I'm telling you, man. I called home. They made us call home. It was like a 10-second phone call. I was like, I really screwed up, Mom. They told me you didn't love me, and she was, oh
Well,
man,
you got to call home.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I never got to call home in basic because, back then it was pay phones. We didn't have cell phones and all that around, so it was you stood in line for the pay phones and then time would be up by the time, I got up there. So I never did get to go home, but I do remember having that moment. Like, well, my moment was the total Private Benjamin moment. So I got there, and again, I was kind of behind the crew. When I got shipped in, I was everybody had already had like a couple of days where they'd been learning to kind of march and what parade rest was and what some of the etiquette was and the protocol was. Well, I didn't have any of that yet, so I asked the drill sergeant something, and she just jumps all over me. Drill Sergeant Horn, never forget her. Just chewed me up one side down the other. And like, because you don't address me unless you're at parade rest, private. Da, 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 da. I threw my hands on my hips and I said, "You look here, lady.
Oh
I
shit. Oh
volunteered to be
shit.
here. You don't talk to me like that."
Oh hell, you did not.
I
Oh,
did.
oh boy.
Oh Lord. Oh
And
Lord.
all I know is like, I don't know where they came from. I don't know where they were, but drill sergeants came out of the woodwork and I had brims of hats all the way around my head. I don't know what anybody said. I just heard. So I went over and I picked my head up off the ground and I put it back on, and I didn't say boo for the rest of basic training. I had nothing to say to nobody about nothing.
No shit.
Wow.
It's funny though, because if you look back at to me in the Navy, I mean, y'all had a lot rougher than I did. I mean, we drilled with these fake brown wooden rifles, and we had to sleep with them and everything else. It was so stupid. But y'all had it rougher than us. But it was the mental aspect of how they were able to break you down in basic training. The
Yeah.
best way they broke you down, and I hated it, was the church. I hated it.
Oh.
Because I was raised Catholic, and we got to go to Catholic, and we're sitting down, and I saw something I had never seen before in the Catholic church, is where they played a movie of you and your best friend. I don't know if they did this to y'all, but they played a movie, and it was about two best friends walking down the street, and all of a sudden he just dies like that. No explanation. And it's the guy screaming for help, and there's no solution of what happened, but it was to break you down. I'm like, okay, I don't like church anymore. I was like, right then, I was like, I didn't go to church till I got out. But
I think everybody, when we were in basic training, went to church because it was the only time it was co-ed, right? The guys and the girls, you couldn't sit with each other, but you could eyeball each other, and everybody's young and everything, and so it was like a break from the stuff. I don't recall being impressed by the sermons at all.
right
The church and basic training.
now, did they play "God Bless America"?
I don't even remember, like,
By Lee Greenwood at the end of each
after,
service?
right? Wasn't that after the desert that they did that, or when it first started?
It was right after. For us, it was right after each service. They would play Lee Greenwood's
Yeah.
song.
I don't
God
think
bless
so.
the
I don't think I
USA.
heard music at all ever when I was in basic. I don't recall any music other than people calling cadence.
And then every night, I'm not bullshitting you. They had this, I guess, revolving tape that played. What was that? That stupid song. It was "Right Here Waiting for You." By Mark Richard, or whatever his name.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I'm
it
right
was
here
like
waiting for
popular back
you.
then. Yeah,
Not
Don't
Richard Marks.
Yeah, Richard Marks. That's it,
yeah.
Richard Marks, and
Okay.
right here waiting for you. I heard that song 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the whole time I was in boot camp.
That's torture.
And
Ugh,
let me tell you
that would be
something.
horrible.
after a while, I was getting ready to start singing to everybody. It's like I'm about to go insane listening to the. I mean, but it was a great way to break you down. You weren't knowing they were breaking you down. You didn't understand it. And then the last day, he said, "Now that we're going to let you out of here, it's time for y'all to make it yourselves. We gave you the tools. Now know
Mhm.
how to use them." I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
And now I look back at that, I'm like, they sure in the hell did. Yeah, they told
Mhm.
me I didn't like hearing that damn song ever again. I didn't like their sermons. But okay, we jumped off track. But anyway, so but you're right. When you got home, even after Desert Storm, you got back. A lot more people were different, but it was you. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I never looked at. I came home way too early after Desert Storm and visited people. I mean, it was great, but I still had a lot of things running through my mind.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, and I couldn't get through they wanna pepper you with questions like it was this, cool thing you did and you're a badass and, they wanna talk to you about it and you feel appreciative that you're appreciated for what you did, but at the same time, it's like, I'm home. I don't wanna talk about this, right? I just wanna just be, and not I wanna be not in the army for this few weeks that I'm home
Yeah, and it's and but the civilians don't understand that. Now, Tina, did you go from the Gulf? Did you go back to Germany? Or did you come right back to the States?
back to Germany. And there was no like parade or nothing. We got out and there was like a few family members there to greet their families, and that was it. There was no
Mm.
big hoo-ha, hoorah, nothing. It was
Oh,
well, we were
private.
on Guam, so don't feel bad. So there wasn't no big thing. I mean, you got to see it on the news
Yeah,
when you
well,
got to Guam, all these people going home.
yeah. I got the red
I
carpet
didn't.
treatment. I walked off plane. It was literally the red carpet, and I was just baffled. I was like, like I just wanted to go back. I got off the plane. We
Carpet.
had to take a bus ride to Germany or to Germany, bus ride back to the to concern we were on. And I remember getting a bloody nose, and the sergeant major turns around and let's say now's a hell of a time to get a bloody nose. It just happened, And I get home,
I
and
timed
my
it just
wife
right.
was hey, my wife was like 10 days, and she was gonna pop. She was all kind, saw her and my whole world was turning upside down in a lot of different ways. When I get home, my had a newborn just around the corner, and then I don't even remember how long I was in country, and they sent me back stateside for BNOC, and I was like,
Well,
okay.
now we're going to
I mean,
get into
it,
like you're talking about, John, about life's being turned upside down.
Hmm.
Everything did change for us back then, um, but today it's changed even. For me, to me, it's for the worst because of our bodies deteriorating. Everything with the VA, everything
Yeah.
that all the vets are going through. We all have one common goal, and one thing that at least we can all focus on: bringing our brothers and sisters together to talk about what is going on with you, what's going on with you, and the Gulf War community, to me, is getting more and more active with each other about talking
Mhm.
about it. And
Mhm.
I think that's important because with you, uh, Tina, I want you to tell me a little bit about your experience with the VA, what about what your experience is with it.
Oof. Well, when I got back, um, I was experiencing things that all the rest of us were experiencing, where the really mysterious rashes. Like what is this? Where's this coming from? My stomach, I started bothering me over there. I was told I had gastritis from drinking out of the water buffalo. We had a commander who was relieved from duty because he hoarded the water and only gave us like 2 bottles a day, and we're working in this 100+ heat. And so I got heat exhaustion. I got a heat injury while I was over there, and so I kind of just chalked it all up as, that, right? And so someone told me, oh, you need to put in a claim with the VA because you never know. And so I did, and they immediately shot me down like they do. And it was just, I don't know about you, but I was just mentally fatigued. And just the thought of having to go back and fill those papers out and talk to anybody and do anything again, it was just like, I would rather walk through hot coals than do that again. So I just let it go. And over the years of my life, just things kept bothering me. I was sick, and it was, you go to the doctor, and it's this, it's that. You get these little singular diagnoses of a single symptom, and nobody's ever putting the whole thing together for you. And so you're treating this, you're treating that, you're treating. Oh, you have cold weather asthma, so here, just take this, inhaler. Oh, you have sinusitis. It's probably allergies, but it's happening all the time, and you have a constant cough. Oh, it's probably sinus drainage. I mean, just anything that's very dismissive. The VA was very dismissive about everything I went in with and was complaining about. And I got where, I had my own medical insurance that I preferred just to go to my regular doctor. But they're not even in the frame of mind to even start thinking about things in terms of, hey, did you get this in your exposures in a wartime environment? So they're doing kind of the same thing, but they at least would listen to me somewhat. So as the years go by and I get older, things are getting worse and worse. I have days that I don't know how to explain it, but I call it my brain fog. But it feels like, like a big wall of jello, and I'm trying to push my thoughts through this wall of jello, and I can't finish my sentences. I can't remember what I was going to say. I could be driving and I could have been somewhere a million times and I can't remember how to get there. It's just bizarreness that happens. So I started thinking about that in terms of, man, this is got the potential to be really bad for me as I continue to age and this continues to progress like this. And it's going to be really bad for my husband and my son, that somebody's going to have to end up taking care of me if this continues to get to the point that I can't even move, because there are days I can't. And so I really started pushing on it. I actually fought back and forth for a while, and I was exhausted with their process and everything. And I know there's a trick to it, but I couldn't figure it out. And I'm not an unintelligent person. So for it to be challenging for me, and the frustration of just trying to get through to a human being and just all of that, I had no love for the VA whatsoever at this point. So I went out and got some advice, got some support, got some help on trying to how to put everything together. So I was successful in getting some things taken care of so that I could at least have something in place to take care of me medically or whatever if things just continue to progress to the point that I am unable to take care of myself at all. So this PACT Act thing, I was very hopeful at first, but it's really I'm kind of in the midst of it. It's starting to feel like another grind with them. It's starting to feel like this. And, the VA doctor over here, she tries to tell me her husband was in the military and he was in Desert Storm and this is all nothing. And, she tries to dismiss everything based on her husband's experiences. And so I just almost just would rather not engage them at all.
And let me tell you, her husband's probably 100% disabled, and
Mm-hmm.
because she knows all the tricks
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And see, and that's the part that really pisses me off is they dismiss it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best word for it. We're
Mm-hmm.
being dismissed. No
Mm-hmm.
difference than what the Vietnam guys were being
Mm-hmm.
dismissed. Oh, Agent Orange didn't do anything to you. Y'all don't know, this and
Well,
this.
here's my concern about that is they knew it did, just like they knew what all the experimental pills they gave us, the shots. Good Lord, who knows what was in those cocktails of shots that we took? Um, the what we were exposed to, the burn pits, all of it. They knew sarin gas. They knew a long time ago what that was going to do to us. That's why they're called presumptives, because they already have all the research and the studies. They know they can't fight it, but they don't want us digging into it and really understanding what's truly we were exposed to and what's truly going to happen to us in the future. So we'll give you some prescriptions and we'll give you some pittance of some pay, and you guys just going about your business. I mean, I don't want to say I don't appreciate that, but I shouldn't have to fight so damn hard for it when you already knew what you did to me.
No, I agree. I agree 110%. Matter of fact, I really don't think we should have to fight. I don't think we ever should have had a fight. They knew about this a long time ago. They knew what they did. And it's funny because when you tell the civilian world out there who is listening, our government knew years ago. That,
Mhm.
I mean, go to va.gov.
Mhm.
Go look it up. They'll say in 1995 they're following almost all of us because they knew we were exposed to something. Something happened to us over there.
Mhm.
And you brought up about being dehydrated and all that.
Mhm.
A lot of us out there, the environment dehydrated us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was horrible.
Right. And so let me ask you this. Have you ever had, I'm just wondering, have you ever had kidney stones?
No, I have not.
Okay. Because
Oh, oh,
a lot of people have, and that's a real bad part of dehydration.
I do have renal system issues, but I've not had
Okay.
stones that I'm aware of. Well, I'll say this: I may have them. I've just never passed one. So.
Okay. See,
yeah.
like for
Well,
me, I'm in kidney renal. I have kidney renal disease, which
Mhm.
is another word for kidney failure. I don't know why they even freaking just call it what it is. And so and the renal problems are what a lot of us have. I mean,
Mhm.
there's so many different variants of what we were exposed to and what we're going through, even though we're all going through it all together. It almost feels like, though, a lot of these guys feel like, and girls still feel like they're still alone in this battle.
Mm. Yeah. Well, I have some family and friends that work for the VA, on the administrative side of things, and there's very little training for Desert Storm and for our illnesses and for what we were exposed to. It's almost like, they always say we're the forgotten war. Well, it's kind of forgotten all the way around. They're just not trained on this, very much. They get a lot of Afghanistan training, what they deal with over there, but what we were exposed to, and I'm going to say exposed. We can use that word. It's a little passive, if you ask me. That's what some of this was done to us, right? We were a fabulous test bed for the pharmaceutical industry, and they used us like lab rats. Now, can we prove that those are the reasons that we have what we have? No, we can't. But I know that you gave me nerve agent pills, and then you tested to see if they worked by gassing me with sarin gas. So, I can only imagine that none of that was good for me or my health
Right.
or my future health. So,
And then the anthrax shot,
mhm,
and then the malaria pills. I mean, I
mhm,
could keep going on and on about
mhm,
that because us as us as veterans, a lot of people are like, "Well, you signed on the dotted line." Yeah, you can kiss my ass. I didn't sign
I
on
didn't
dotted
sign up for
line.
that.
That's right.
I
I
didn't
didn't
sign up
sign
for
on
that.
the dotted line to. I signed on the dotted line to get shot at. I didn't get shot on. I didn't sign on that dotted line to get a shot in my arm, P-tabs or whatever they
For you to
gave
poison
us.
me.
That yeah,
Yeah.
to poison us. So
Mhm,
I mean, yeah, needless to say, did they took a shot at us.
mhm,
Even if you never got shot at, they took a shot at us. I get
mhm.
it. Yeah, that's pretty damn
Yeah.
good. Admit it, John.
no,
I
That's
see what you
yeah,
pretty
did
damn
there.
good.
yeah. Hey, that's a good one. Yeah, no, I
But
mean, because they did exactly that. I mean, we
And
were we were guinea pigs. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Every one of us that served, you're essentially a guinea pig. I
mhm.
mean, whether you want to admit it or not, it is what it is.
And I know that, like, everything I've said, like, I am tongue in cheek poking fun at all the negative experiences that I had, and going through that. But I think we all have some kind of crazy story, about our time over there. But I really believed in my service and my country and the camaraderie that came out of it. And as clunky as it was that we saw, CNN, we were like a well-oiled machine, according to CNN, but we all know all the challenges and the clunkiness and the stuff that was just not right, that just didn't go smoothly. We still did a fantastic job over there. I just, I hate that right now I'm feeling like some of that is marred by the revelations that are coming out of just that they we did not get informed consent for the things that they were putting into our body.
Right. I agree with you. And on top of that is, I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, even with what the military was going through not that long ago about the same damn thing. It's like, guys, we're not experimental. You can't force stuff on us anymore than
Mhm.
than what you've already done. We're done. We're here to stop it. This is what this program's for. We want to be
Oh,
stopped.
yeah. I really I hope it's successful. I know my last VA appointment at my primary care was less than heartening for that. There was a huge push for a pill for everything, right? And then for the fibromyalgia, I've resigned myself to the fact. First of all, I don't do pharmaceuticals unless it's a life-saving type thing. I'd rather suffer than whatever the side effect of that might be for me. Because be my luck, I'll get that side effect. So I was very disappointed when my doctor was like, "Oh, I think there's a new drug out. You should try it." And she's literally Googling it. Google, you're a doctor and you're Googling a pill to see if you can prescribe it to me. And I'm thinking,
Wow.
if you don't understand the pill well enough to that you don't have to look it up on the internet before you prescribe it, then what are you doing? You know? Again, smacks of that whole guinea pig thing. Hey, let's throw this at it and see if it works.
That's a great point. I mean, like my kidney doctor, she was like, I'm not going to put you on any more medication than what you need to be on. And she said, I know a lot about what the Desert Storm vets went through. She goes, I've been studying up on it. I'm looking up, and she says,
Sure.
I'm not going to let you go any further. The bad side, we're going to keep you right where you're at. And she's like, right now you're stable. She just called me the other day, left me a message, and she's like, "You're stable. We're going to keep you there. This is what I want you to do." And that the program that they're putting me on is called the Move, not Moo. But when you talk to Larry, it sounds like she's going, "Welcome to the Move program," and I'm like, "Move
So you
program."
got that
I
clarified,
got
huh?
that
It's move.
clarified. I had a call.
Yes,
And I had
isn't that the nutritionist and all of
It
that
it it
stuff?
it is, it is, but if you ever listen to them when they first do the class, they make it sound like it's a cow, and I don't know why. "Welcome to the Moo program," and I'm like, "You tell a
Trying to
bunch of"
infuse some energy into that, I guess.
yeah, I'm like, "Y'all sound like
Well,
this is like a" because I did talk to him. I said, "Is this called the Moo program or the Move program?" "Oh, it's the Move." I said, "MOVE." "Yes."
so 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 you just asked them to phonetically spell it out, then you know for
Well,
sure.
yes, well, I told him, I said, "Well, when you talk about it, the way you say it, you're calling a bunch of fat cows.
oh,
That's exactly what it sounds like." "Well, today we're going to learn today on the Move program." I'm like, yeah, and especially if you talk like a redneck. Rednecks don't talk clarified. I can promise you on one. I
Our
mean,
rednecks don't clap.
when they talk, it's
I
like,
am a board certified redneck, just so you know.
right. I mean, when they talk really fast and then they move 90 to nothing and everything comes out of their mouth when they're talking about, "Hey, we're going to move program. What are y'all doing today?" It sounds
Yeah,
like you're saying "move." I'm like, "Son
yeah.
of a bitch." And I'm over there going, I know I'm not fat, but these other guys who think that they are going to get really offensive if she keeps. So I
Yeah.
had to ask them today. I was like, and so she was like, "I'm really glad you said." I said, "So when you say it, don't say it, 'Welcome to the Move program.' Say, 'Welcome to the Move program. Really clarify that.
Now enunciate.
Yes, yes. You know, yeah. You announce it. Really, really clarify that thing. But
You know, I used to, I started with that program several years ago. I used to weigh 300 pounds because I was really resistant to exercise because it was like a catch 22. If I exercised, then I would be down and I would hurt the next day. But then if you don't exercise, then you're down and you couldn't win or lose them kind of thing. And I gained a lot of weight, and I went through their program to try to lose weight. Wasn't successful with that, but I did do gastric sleeve surgery to lose the weight. But I let the VA carry me all the way through the process because this was their solution in Virginia. Is they don't have a bariatric surgeon, so they're going to ship me over to West Virginia, and I'd have to stay there and then drive 5 hours home after my surgery from there. And then if I had any complications, nobody could treat me. I'd have to go back to West Virginia because they didn't have any specialists. So I think this is when they just started to get into the bariatric um, arena. So what I did is, since I had my own personal health insurance, I let them do everything. You know, the insurance, once you do all these hoops, you got to see the nutritionist, you have to have a psyche bowel, you have to do all of this stuff before you can have the surgery. So I let the VA carry that all the way, so it wasn't out of pocket for me. And then I got a nice, tidy little package from them. So there's no way in heck you guys are doing this surgery on me. And I went to a private doctor and got it done.
that's fantastic because I mean they even talked about that as like they will pay for you to have surgery as long as you follow what they're doing, what they tell you to do. And I was like, it was really great to know that. Like I don't need the surgery. All right. I mean, yeah, do I need to lose? I gotta lose 10 pounds. I mean, I don't need surgery for that. I need.
I lost 179 pounds.
Wow. Well,
Wow.
I've
Yeah.
gained
congratulations.
some of it back lately, though.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. But I've been putting it on gradually over the last few years. COVID was not friendly for me, and I've been putting
Right.
it on. So I'm really starting to like freak out. I'm like, I got to get this under control and get going back the other way.
And right. And she did ask me. She goes, "Do you?" My kidney doctor was like, "Do you like rabbit food?" I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch."
Rabbit food.
And I was like, she
So
goes, like green beans, stuff like
no, I
that,
get it. I mean, I
that,
get it, but
you
I
know,
mean,
and then
there's other what you can eat. It's in moderation. Other things you don't have to totally obviously give up. I got a sweet tooth that I've told you before. I should have taken out stock in Little Debbie's when I was a teenager, but
yeah,
if you eat
yeah. So that's what your
this,
wife meant by
Actually,
that.
we should have taken out stock in Chef Boyardee. How many
Oh,
raviolis
hell
and noodles
yeah.
crap did y'all eat?
Spaghettios.
Maybe that's what made us sick. All that fake food we were eating.
That is fantastic. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're right. Well, growing up, your parents when they cooked large portions and they kept feeding you. It like,
And you cleaned your plate.
oh yeah, you cleaned it, and
yeah,
then my mom, like squash. I don't know why the hell they put squash on the kid's plate, knowing damn well we ain't gonna eat it, but we're gonna get our ass whooped because we didn't eat it. Never understood that. I'm not eating anything that looks like a jellyfish.
Oh, my mom would slice it, batter it, and fry it. So it was always fried squash.
Okay, see that's much better. That's much better. But I mean,
I
my
could almost
mom,
tolerate that.
I don't know, my mom got it out of a can or what.
That
I was like,
does not sound right.
yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to, be eating that. I'll take the ass whooping tonight.
Yeah,
But
I'll take the ass whooping.
yeah, man, my dad used to get so mad. You ain't leaving this table till, and then I did the same thing to my kids about green beans. Now, none of my kids really like green beans. But hey, we're going to go into the after the show now. I thank everybody for listening. I hope everybody, took something away from this, especially about all of us sticking together. And Tina, it was a real pleasure having you on. I'm really glad you came on. You brought back memories and gave us insight all at the same time. That was really cool. And John, I'm always welcome. I always welcome you. And thank you very much
Yeah.
for
No,
everything.
it's always fun. So thanks for hang tight,
Yeah.
Tina. We'll be right back here in just a minute.
Right. Everybody have a
So
great night, and we'll see you after show. Thank you for listening to Go For Side Effects. If you have a story or you would like to share or just come on with any comments or questions, please email me at kevinsimon@goforsideeffects.com.